You better start this because I'm about to restart this if you
So
don't.
it's great to see everyone here. This is the Brand Doctors, episode 149.
I'm gonna spiral out,
I
dude.
just got out from Craft and Commerce, just
I'm
came
about to
back,
crash out.
and I was thinking about you, and it's great to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you too. I'm still on what you said before the call, especially since I saw him last year, and I've been trying to get any trip I've gone on for conferences. I've been trying to go to karaoke, and literally at Podcast Movement in DC last year, there was a karaoke bar. We got there too late, and so I wasn't able to do karaoke with people from the conference. And here you go and rub it in my face.
I didn't do that on purpose. I
I
thought you would be happy for me, but I
I
was
am
wrong.
ecstatic for you, but I'm also jealous. I can be
I
both.
Oh, okay, that's fine. That's fine. Well, no, well, I won't tell you everything then.
Now
So,
you have to, because now I'm like spiraling until you do.
well, okay. So the Craft and Commerce. This is what I keep saying. I've been saying this for a while. If Craft and Commerce is one of the best conferences to go to if you're a creator or anything like that, because the simple fact is it's in Boise, which means not a lot of people like Boise. I'm just gonna be honest. It is hard to get there. It is not a very easy place to get there. So unlike LA, Miami, New York, maybe even Dallas or that area, the point is you're not going to get a lot of people that get there like just on a whim. You have to
Mhm.
plan to go. And so with Craft and Commerce, there are people that are in the creator space that are there that you can have a real connection with and have time. And for example, Pat Flynn. And also, too, I ended up on one of the creator roundtable
Of
discussions
course.
on the main stage, just because it's like put yourself in the right position, network, do all those things, and that's
You
what's
also know your
possible.
stuff too.
Yeah. And that's how it happened. So it was a lot of great people there. Justin Moore was there. Jay Klaus was there. Pat
One of
Flynn
those
was there.
Jake names said that they saw you or something like that. I think at one point. So I
Who
don't
said
know.
that?
Justin or Jay.
Yeah,
It might have been at a different conference too. I don't know. I
No, I think it
remember
might
talking
be.
to somebody on LinkedIn.
Okay, so Justin Moore, I was at an event the week before in Minnesota, and he lives there, Minneapolis.
Mm,
So I was there. I saw him, and then we were going to Craft and Commerce the next week.
that's so sick.
So I
You'll have to
was,
introduce me when you get there in person.
yeah, it was awesome. No, they're awesome. They're awesome, and definitely, Justin's doing a lot of speaking now, so you'll see him all over the place. But and I always say like go to the side events. So there was a YouTube
Mhm.
event. There
Oh yeah,
was
those are like the
tons.
best.
Yeah, yeah, just go. And there was a karaoke event that I wasn't going to go to because I was like, first of all, I was at a dinner and I was like, people are going to leave because karaoke is only until 10:30. Everyone stayed until 1.
That's early. Yeah, I was about to
And
say like most places stay open.
so we were there. There's a lot of people singing, a lot of songs. There's one guy. I sang "Total Eclipse of the Heart" with another
I
person.
absolutely adore you, Doc.
So it was fun. It was fun, and it was just wild. And then there was this other guy that was not in the party. First of all, even
Was there?
the
Please tell me there was recordings, please.
I think there might be a few from Mighty, but
I
not
need to
too
see
much. I think
yours.
some
I
people.
want to see your song.
No, I think it was very animated.
Mm,
What I lack in talent, I make up with passion. So it was a lot of movements, and then I have tons of respect for singers and how much they can move around on stage and still have like energy and sound
yeah,
good.
it's hard. It's a lot of cardio.
Because I'm like I'm done after a half a song. I cannot believe like 2 hour sets and people like I'm
I love doing
more
Celine Dion.
respect.
It's all coming back to me now because it's such a long song and people don't expect it for someone like me. Like as
Hmm.
a first off straight dude, like for one, but I love doing that song. And then people are like, by the time I get like 4 or 5 minutes into it, I'm like, hey DJ, cut it off. It's done. I'm done now because it's a
Yeah.
7 minute song. I'm not doing that.
Um.
Or Meatloaf. Oh my gosh.
No, that's too much. I might have told you this, but I'm uh semi secretly practicing to learn opera to
Mm.
get one of my friends at karaoke. So that is something I'm working on. We've been talking about that. So it was too early, but probably in September I'll start
You can always
taking singing
practice at
lessons.
karaoke, dude.
It's true.
I'll
I'm
come back
just
out to
man.
DC just to sing karaoke with you. To be honest.
That is yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. It was a lot of fun. And it was a lot of just people were singing everything. People were singing everything. It was a lot of
See,
fun. So
one of the reasons why I was so upset, Doc, is that Craft and Commerce was one of the first conferences I ever heard about besides like South by Southwest. That was like the first one I think I came across growing up. And South by is just an intense tech and music and creative conference.
Yeah.
And I obviously have an affiliation for Austin, Texas, anyways. But Craft and Commerce, as someone who started out with blogging, let alone looking at ConvertKit, or now Kit, but ConvertKit back then, and Pat Flynn way back in like 2013 and stuff like that.
Yep.
It's one of those things where that was one of my first exposures to this creator world. And so I wasn't able to go this year since I just moved and I could not afford it whatsoever. But I can't wait until like next year if I can, because I think that that would be amazing just to go to the conference, let alone get to experience what you did. Hopefully be able to sing with you. I definitely love doing Under Pressure with friends of mine, so that might be a good song for us.
That would be good. That would, yeah. No,
Queen is my jam. People ask me what I sing, and Queen is where I go for straight away.
We should do that. We should do that. Yeah. No, it was pretty. I like this conference because people are just chill, and there's not a lot of. There's certain conferences where they're trying to boost their numbers or like say like, oh, I'm like this. Everyone is so chill there, and I think it's the atmosphere. I'm going to be honest. This is a hot take. I was telling this to my wife. The hot take that I have is I don't think Austin's that weird. I think Boise is weirder than Austin.
Oh, that is a hot take.
And I know it's just people are just grinding their teeth from Austin. Like, I'm careful.
I am weird. So people, I live in Columbia, Missouri. People tell me that Austin is like a bigger and weirder version of Columbia, which is interesting.
Funny. That's funny. It's interesting. Every time like you talk to a lot of the locals in Austin, they're like keep Austin weird and all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, bro, but like Boise is just quiet and just like sneaky like that, and it's ridiculously safe. It's so safe. I was just walking around at like 2 a.m. I was just finding places to eat, and then I had a wonderful conversation with a homeless man. And so no, it was a great trip.
Did you say you did karaoke with Pat Flynn or just at the same place?
So Pat Flynn did like 2 songs before me, but I talked to Pat a couple times. He just followed me on Twitter actually.
I love Pat. He is like he's one of my heroes in the creator world, but he's also super sweet. I met him at the YouTube conference Girl Video Live with Think Media last year, and he was really cool. And I'll have to tell you the story about that again if I haven't yet.
No, tell me.
Yeah, so last year I saw Pat at the Girl Video Live conference with Think Media, and I met him at one of the networking events and shook his hand. He was wearing a suit. He had a circle of people around him and whatnot, but I got to chat with him for a second, take a picture. It was cool. It's one of those things where you don't get to meet your heroes very often, and he was also one of those people that's genuine in person too, which is really great. And we both love Pokemon, which is another great thing. And what was really interesting is that like the last day, there was this platinum dinner that I managed to get access to. And I think he showed up for a split second at the dinner, but I didn't really get a chance to talk to him there. But afterwards, my friends wanted to go down to gamble, and I didn't want to gamble, but I hung out with them just to like support them and, you know, be their posse, if you will. And it was really interesting because, yeah, you probably remember the story. Essentially, my people were at the roulette table, and then Pat's over there at the blackjack or other roulette table around the corner. And I see him going. I'm like, oh, that's Pat Flynn. Cool. And then I focus on my friend's thing. And my friend is like winning, losing, back and forth. When all of a sudden Pat Flynn comes over. And we're just like, hey, how's it going? Come join us. Come hang out. It's great. And then all of a sudden, my friend, who's very susceptible to all of us telling him which ones to pick, Pat Flynn tells him, like, Black 28. Go with Black 28. My friend's like, I got you. He goes with it, wins big. I mean, big enough to like somewhat even out his deficit, I guess you could say. And me, Pat, and everyone is like, hey! I hug Pat. Pat's like, mic drop. My work here is done, and he dips out. And that's the end of the story. But it's such a great little memory.
I love that. Yeah, no, he's totally chill. He's just really cool. I also too, the Kit Studios. You're gonna see it in a little bit. They allow creators if you're at the conference, but if you're Kit users as well, you can use these studios whenever you're in town. You can book them. I almost imagine this is what it would be like because YouTube studios really aren't really a thing anymore.
Yeah.
You know, like years ago, that was my biggest thing. Like when my friend hit 10,000, I'm like, wow, like we get the application, we can go to YouTube studios. But in the coming years, it just never came into fruition what they wanted to be. I feel like Kit Studios is what YouTube studios could have been for creators creating content, doing all those things. So I did like 4 podcasts there and met some creators. And I have another, like, I have an audit with another a creator and everything like that. So yeah, great stuff, man. It was a great
That brings
conference.
up a couple of topics actually. For one, I was thinking about like when it comes to going to conferences, I realized not enough people are making enough content. I was kind of surprised. I would go to podcasting conferences the last couple of years. I went to a YouTube conference. I went to NAB and stuck around the whole creator area, and hardly anybody was making content. Only like some big names were making content, like Sean Cannell. And the other thing was too, I was thinking about what was it? Oh crap, it'll come back to me. Oh no, YouTube communities. That just came out. You mentioned YouTube, and it came to mind because I just got access to communities, which is like the social network feature on the channel. I just got the email this week, and I was really excited about that.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, you're right. So this is the thing. I think with craft and commerce, and this is like the pros and cons. There are a lot of masterminds and things going on, and people are being vulnerable. It, I think it's an unspoken rule. I don't think a lot of people are doing content in those areas because you get to really talk to people, and they don't want to feel like they're being recorded.
Mm.
The studios, I definitely think, like, and this is the thing, I just booked all these times because I was like, I'll find guests. Some people are like, oh, I
Mm.
don't know how to podcast. I don't, I don't have anyone. Like, I
You'll
found
find
it.
them.
It's like, sucker,
You'll find
I
them.
just booked up like 5 times. Some I didn't even go to, but I was like, I need times to get other people.
That's a good
And
point.
so there, I'm just like, it would be worth it, even if you don't go to all the talks are recorded. That's why I'm like, bro, like, unless you want to support someone and I'm like, go do that. But I was like, use the time to create tons of content, create all of these different things. So I have one with a couple that are like in similar verticals than me, and then others that like Matt Raglan, who used to be at Kit and then at Podia. Now he has like Hey Creator and that community. We've known each other for a while, so we did that. This is the funny part. I think most men that I talk to, almost every man, they can do an hour podcast and they were fine. Even though I told them like I only have a half an hour spot, every woman that I interviewed, they knew their times, they knew like when to wrap up, they were there on time. Every man that I talked to, oh, I had to get something to eat. Oh, I thought we had more time. And like it's the funniest thing. So many women creators, maybe because they have families and they're on top of so many things, they're so much so better organized than male creators. It was just hilarious, but it was fun. We had a good time, and more content coming up soon. But yeah, it was great. It was great.
There's a lot of news going on right now too when it comes to the creator world. And a mutual friend of mine and me and Pat's is actually Junaid Ahmed, host of the Hacks and Hobbies podcast and
Yeah.
co-founder of GoBox Studio. He's a really cool guy. Interviewed him handful of times on my shows, and it's just one of those things where he also has like a recording booth at the podcast movement conferences. And I should have just like set out times that I'm going to record and then found people there or something like that. And there's other news kind of in this world too. Maybe we can just like turn this into a pseudo news channel too, or show, or whatever. I don't know. Because you and I, we always talk about tools when we find them, but it's one of those things where, like, for example, Softer, I think, just came out with a database feature, which is interesting.
I just recorded a video right when we got
Oh,
on this
okay.
one, and
Okay.
we'll talk about. Yeah, I'm using Descript, but yes, that is true. It is all going to be native. You do not need to use any other database with it anymore.
Which, I mean, kind of, to be honest, I stopped using Software because Software kind of sucked, to be honest, in my
Yeah,
experience. I know some people love it. I have a friend named Chanel who loves the tool
yeah,
and she champions it. She's amazing with it.
yeah.
Whenever I used it, couldn't really do much with it. Now that Ghost kind of failed me when it came to building the PolyTools site, maybe I should go back to Software now that they have a database feature, get rid of NoCodeDB, something like that. And then another piece of news too, Matt Pat, Game Theory, he's running for some sort of political
Really?
campaign. Yeah, it's insane.
Why?
I think I don't know exactly. I don't know enough about it to say, but I
Yeah,
keep seeing him all over my feed and timelines. And so it's just kind of insane to think about when
interesting.
there's all these different news going on. And since you and I are generally on the pulse of things, this show kind of spurred out because you and I both love tools. So we're always on the pulse of tools, but you and I also kind of keep in touch with the creator news as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I so definitely with tools and everything. With creator news, I think there's so much type of creator news. I think it depends on the vertical. What is it? The Colin and Samir, their newsletter.
Mm.
I should look at it more, but I get snippets and what's going on
I hate news.
with
I hate
creators.
as much as I love writing newsletters. I hate reading
Oh my
newsletters.
god,
So I totally understand what you're saying. Like I should read it more. I'm like, yeah, I should too.
that's funny. Yeah, no, I mean, there's tons of great things happening. Softer, and again, I always tell people it's just like people with this vibe coding, people hating it. No code, vibe coding, whatever it is, everything has limitations. Every
Mhm.
technology has limitations. What are you trying to build? Software is great for like we're using it with low code engineers, so I'm a project manager over there. We have created a marketplace for it. I personally don't think it's meant to be a scaling marketplace, but you
Mhm.
can hack it together. I think the design has come a long way. Their databases have come a long way. I feel, and maybe people don't want to hear it, I think they're going the glide route where
Mhm.
they started as like for creators and hobbyists and they're going more enterprise for their pricing and everything. They all the things that they have in their back end is very similar to how Glide has roll up features, very technical, basically different ways to relate data to each other.
Mhm.
They now have that natively, so you don't have to worry about paying for all these records with Airtable. But the reality, although they're like, oh, you don't have to pay for Airtable, depends on how big your business is. For the most part, people can get away with the basics of Airtable.
Yeah.
But in general, I think software is making the right news. I have some other ideas for it, but just made a video, and I'd love to talk to you about a guy that I met at from Mighty Networks, how they do all their production with Descript.
Hmm.
I finally paid for it. I put
Finally,
I bit
I
the
got you to
bullet.
upgrade.
I got the creator one, I got the whole creator package, and I got it for a year because I am substituting out StreamYard
Yes.
and all of these other ones. So I'm like,
We've talked about
I have
how
to do it.
StreamYard's gone downhill, anyways.
Yeah.
I would like
Yeah.
the next Brain Doctors meeting probably to be then in the script rooms with you,
Let's do
so we
it.
can test it out because I need to test that.
And it's so just full transparency. They have two different ones. They have the Descript like rooms if it's together, or if they're doing the
Mhm.
podcast, they have a Squadcast that they bought, I guess, or a
Well,
Squadcast that they
Squad no, the
had or
script
something.
rooms is replacing Squadcast.
Why do I have to integrate everything then? I can just do that.
Well, because Squadcast they bought out, and the team who made Squadcast, that worked for Squadcast, is now basically building the script rooms. But the script rooms, I think, is still in beta.
Oh, it's in beta.
It's still
Okay.
like new. It's still pretty damn
That's
new.
what I was like.
Yeah.
Okay, because they're like in their still in their documentation, they're like connect it to Squadcast. And I'm like,
Hmm.
okay. And they're like, it's all bundled and do this. So I'm using Squadcast right now. I have a podcast in a little bit later today. I have two, but they're like, don't they in the scripts documentation, it didn't say to use theirs. So we can try it out. We can
Mm.
try the beta feature and see what you think.
I'm more curious about rooms and Squadcast. I think I've used Squadcast in the past as a guest and whatnot, but not as a host.
Yeah.
And there was a few different things you touched on. I'm trying to remember what we talked about. I mean, considering the fact that like a lot of these tools, I mean, I actually kind of grew out of Airtable because I had too many tools on my list.
Yeah.
I literally couldn't afford that anymore
Yeah.
because they wanted to charge. Airtable went really pricey with their pricing model, and
Yeah.
Canva too. To be honest, a lot of their pricing and overall just usability, their UX is just terrible now. And I swear they keep saying like, for example, every time I try to download a picture off one of my like thumbnail templates that I make, it forces me to try to do an MP4,
Oh
despite the
yeah.
fact I've said hundreds, literally hundreds of times now, save as PNG and save download settings, right?
Mm.
I specifically clicked that checkbox, saved download settings. It has never saved it, not even once. It's always trying to force me to do MP4. And I'm like, bro, I don't even have any videos in this list of templates. And so with Canva also being kind of limited when it comes to just templates now and AI features, I was like, maybe I should find like Backblaze or something like that, some better new tool.
Yeah, and I would say yeah, if it works, this is what I'm trying to approach is only using new tools to substitute or make
Mhm.
my process better versus like you already know we both do. Like I'm constantly downloading things, but I've now learned like there are a few things that I want to stay with as little tools as possible right now. Oh, I met
Yeah,
a lot of Obsidian guys, and this guy
Danny
Thomas.
Hatcher. Oh, Thomas Frank.
Yeah, I met him. Yeah.
Dude, he is huge.
Yeah,
He's
met
a
met
he's a big
him.
guy.
Um, Hatcher, it's funny. He was on my we knew each other years ago, but he wasn't there. There's a
I
guy.
actually got a chance to interview Danny Hatcher on this show, or not the show, but his channel a little while back.
His name's Nick. I gotta find him. I'll send you all the
Send me
guys.
all anything, because like that's the thing with Craft and Commerce too. A lot of these Obsidian guys generally tend towards this writing world, despite the fact they're also YouTubers too. And Thomas Frank was one of the original like OG Notion people and project management, knowledge management world. He's him and like Tiago Forte and even someone who else I got to interview. There's this kind of like circle of PKM people. I'm kind of actually taking a step back from PKM because I haven't been motivated to make the content for it for a while. Like I haven't made any blog posts for a long time. The only blog posts I've been making have been newsletters, and that's been something we could talk about next time maybe.
Yeah.
I definitely think that my content output has decreased significantly, despite the fact I still put out videos. Yeah, that's the thought.
There is let me send you this list. This is from the
again.
YouTube.
I was going to mention this earlier. Obsidian now has bases, and I think that's going to be a huge deal.
Right.
I've been like spamming you with messages about it the last few weeks because it's been such a big deal. I don't think I have access to it just yet because I don't have the Catalyst plan. I actually tried to pay for it, and for some reason they could either do like PayPal or some sort of weird third-party payment processor, and neither one would work for me. PayPal literally said that like it could not be approved. It treated it as if it was like spam or something like that. Like PayPal would not go through. So I literally I couldn't pay Obsidian to get their like support tier plan.
Interesting.
Like I'm supporting Obsidian kind of thing, the Catalyst plan. But so I have to wait until it becomes a public release. But Obsidian Bases looks really interesting, especially if the calendar feature really works out. But even just like having a database for all my content again, because that was how I managed my content in Notion. That made me one of the most efficient creators I've ever been, was with Notion. I don't want to go back to Notion because Notion kind of sucks now. But in general, if I can have everything all in one anyways, have it all in Obsidian. There's also, Doc, we haven't talked about this. I think I've only sent you like a link before, so we haven't really talked about this. There's an RSS dashboard plugin that this guy is making. He's one of the few people I've ever bought a coffee for, if that makes sense too. And he came out with this really interesting plugin that visualizes these different RSS feeds that you sign up for in Obsidian. And I found that to be really cool because I don't necessarily want to check every single website every single day or week to see if there's any new posts. I want to get an RSS aggregator. But a lot of the RSS plugins and even RSS tools like Feedly or all that jazz, they kind of suck, to be honest. And this looks like a really interesting alternative. And so if I can have that, that'll prevent me from having to waste time on web browsers more.
I like that. Yeah, send me more info on that. I sent you the YouTube list of all the different creators that were at the dinner. I don't know. Nick knew them. I guess it was an Obsidian like mind meld going on over there. So I didn't know who he was, but maybe if you find him on that list that I sent you, I don't know. If he's not there, I'll try to find another place. But yeah, Thomas Frank was there. All those things. So yeah, there's. Oh, and then there was I don't know what she did a book like I think she's Canadian or French, like Little Experiments. I can't remember. She came out with a book recently. She was there too. But yeah, a lot of great things coming out. A lot of great people for sure. Oh, you're muted.
I definitely think you should go to Vid Summit and Podcast Movement this year.
Podcast Movement.
Because you were supposed to go last year, remember? And I kept bugging you, and I thought you were going to go, and then you were like, "Oh wait, I'm not going." I'm like, "Oh okay."
Yeah, that sounds like
me. I straight up thought you were still going. So like 2 days into the conference, I'm still texting you like, "Hey, where are you at? Let's meet up." And you're like, "Oh yeah, I didn't sign up for it." I'm like, "What?"
Okay, two things. How much is it?
Okay, so it's like $500, but you could have easily become a speaker or something like that.
Yeah. I was trying to.
And it was in your town.
I know. That's what sucks. I should have just done it.
That was like $500 is a lot. I paid for my ticket last year myself, but I managed to get lodging and air travel sponsored. So
I need to.
Just in Dallas this year, so that's gonna be interesting.
I hate Dallas. I don't hate.
Well, that's why you need to go with me, so we can be there together. We can suffer together. Right. Okay. Okay.
And then it's like,
We
I'll
could even
see.
share an Airbnb and like split the cost too. That'd be nice.
Let me see about this. I listen, Vid Summit for sure. Let me see what I can do with
Well, both of
podcast.
them are in Dallas this year.
Okay, Vid Summit I will go for sure. And the one year that I went because I was part of Daryl Eve's like
Oh,
mastermind, I told
I need
him
to connect with him.
he's cool. I like him. I text
I
him
think I friends
and
with
I
mutual
bought the
friends with him.
book from him, but I was like, "Hey,
Yeah.
listen, man." I was like, "I cannot afford to go." And he's like, "What's your email?" And he got me a ticket.
Mm.
It just
What sucks is that last year I literally had a ticket to VidSummit. I just could not afford the
what?
lodging and travel.
No, we gotta work on this. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is a conference like Vid Summit, like VidCon. Unless
Eh.
you're doing like, I understand why Justin's going and he's speaking, but Vid Summit's still like all the before parties, after parties. It's just worth it with the right kind of people. So
Also, pro tip to you, Doc, and anyone's listening: if you see me at a conference, I generally have a caffeine packet. So if you're sitting there dying to wake up or something like that, I'll just pull out a little caffeine packet and I got you. Some of them are Celsius, some of them are like Kroger, whatever. But I got caffeine packets on me like always, because I made a friend last year at NAB because literally he was just slugging through the day. He was just like half asleep.
that's
And I'm like,
fine.
bro, you want a Celsius? And he's like, yeah.
That's
And I
fine.
eventually interviewed him on my channel. So it's great.
So you're a caffeine pusher. I like it. It
Oh,
works.
I drink so much caffeine.
I
It's
bet.
insane.
I bet. Um,
Any
there.
last notes before we end up wrapping up?
No, I think I gotta talk to you more about the script. I just did this
Mm,
video. I think I just need to get better with the workflow, but so far I like it a lot. I think it's going to do a lot of great things. And so to be continued, I'm going to try it out. I might need help with like how to spice up this video real quick because I
yeah.
have to feel like we need you to deliver this in the next 24 hours. I'm like, you just gave me access. Like I'm going to work hard, but I'm not going to work that hard, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. So we can talk about it now or we can talk about it offline, but I need like 5 minutes of your time. But
I think that offline's probably fine because I'm not sure
yeah,
exactly what we're going to go into, and
yeah,
then I want to bore the audience. But when it comes to different tools and conferences, or even just being a content creator, hit us up. Did you see the post I made of us on Instagram?
I did. I did. That was
Yeah.
very nice. I liked
I
it.
was like, we should shout that out because we haven't talked about brand doctors much on social media besides like my random posts of the
Yeah.
videos, and so I wanted to shout us out again.
No, I'm gonna mention that to people. That's good stuff,
Sounds good.
man. Love it.
Cheers.